Do not listen to this recording while driving a vehicle or operating machinery. Only listen when and where it is safe to relax deeply. Welcome. The purpose of this guided sleep meditation for forgiving others is to help individuals begin moving towards a more peaceful state of mind by restfully resolving their feelings of anger and resentment, which might be due to having been unjustly treated, hurt, or harmed in the past. And this can be accomplished either while sitting down with your spine straight, if you feel like applying yourself more robustly, perhaps using cushions to support your knees, hips, and general back area, or lying down if you feel like relaxing more passively. Either way is fine. And once you are comfortably situated, you can gently close your eyes if you have not already done so. And as you do, take note of your breath, because it may be that you are using both your nose and your mouth together for breathing in and breathing out. Or maybe you are using only one or the other, and either way is perfectly all right. As you settle in and follow your own unique, individual, naturally relaxing breathing rhythm. Because you will be the captain of your ship throughout this entire voyage. And you'll be able to disembark anytime you feel like doing so. So now you can prepare to relax deeply. By bringing your thoughts to your crown, your scalp, the very top of your head and body, for that matter. Perhaps detecting, somewhat surprisingly or remarkably, some tightness in this area. As you slowly and gradually begin quieting the mind. While embarking on a journey within. transposing now to the temples, around the eyes, as well as the forehead, where very strong, ever-present tension and stress may also very well reside. Letting it all go. Letting it all melt away. Slowly. Little by little. Gently releasing pressure, anxiety, worry, loosening, dislodging, tightness, tension, stress. As you continue, steadily breathing in and breathing out. Knowing that if ever you naturally feel like taking the occasional deeper breath in order to replenish the air in your lungs, then your body will simply do so, because after all, you're only following your instincts while doing what comes automatically. By just absorbing air in and letting air out. Taking in what you need, releasing what you no longer need. Perhaps discovering along the way, as these moments continue to unfold, more reflective aspects of yourself. Greater discernment, deeper thoughts, not taking in more than you can handle, just taking in the precisely correct amount allotted to you today. Not forcing anything, just following the flow. The proper natural course, which is right for you at this time in your life. focusing more specifically now on that pulsating center between the brows, above the bridge of the nose. Looking within, freeing up new inner dimensions and sensitivities. Perhaps liberating new understandings and insights. Expanding the mind to new potentials, possibilities. Going deeper. Where profound repair, regeneration, restoration will occur. All of this while continuing to feel safe, secure, protected. Relaxing the cheeks now while slackening the jaw. As we make our way down to the throat. And determine that this is a time to take a courageous inventory of the speech, the everyday spoken word, because on occasion, hurtful, harmful things might have been said. Sometimes unintentionally, simply brought about as a result of feeling defensive, unsafe, or insecure. Conversely, one little positively encouraging message, well placed, well timed, can mean so much and make such a world of difference. So acknowledging the throat and the voice for the powerful instruments they are, and forgiving others as we forgive ourselves for things that might have been said or left unsaid. We resolve, going forward, to speak with greater harmony, temperance, and we let our communication be yea and nay, wherever possible, and to resonate more from the heart. Thereby cultivating, encouraging love, compassion within, while outwardly conveying goodwill, kindness to others. Selflessly transmitting hope, encouragement whenever we can, thereby engendering a stabilizing waterfall of overall uplifting acceptance. A caring yet balanced forbearance. An attentive yet detached and non-judgmental disposition. Taming uneasiness. Soothing the nerves. In the stomach. At the solar plexus. Enhancing moderation, equilibrium, composure. With a greater sense of longer-term peace, tranquility. As we initiate an outright return to the authentic self, where we get ever closer to experiencing the soul's true nature. While becoming more in tune with our internal benevolence. Touching intuition, recognizing, understanding that we truly have within us the intrinsic quality of being everything we were always meant to be. Of unshackling ourselves from whatever past behaviors, entrenched habits, old thought patterns that admittedly might have served us or been relied upon in the past. along our journey, but today no longer genuinely serve us anymore. And this may become further evident the closer down we move into the essence of our being. From the point of our creative conception to the point where we merge into this physical world, firmly grounded, we choose to develop, expand, and manifest our inherent power by applying practical, realizable self-direction and control. As we exercise our all-knowing wisdom and free will, thereby evolving into our own rightful, sacred excellence and purity, one singular, decisive act at a time. For instance, in regards to forgiving others, whether it is a multitude of individuals you'd like to be able to pardon, or one singular individual, for the purposes of this forgiveness process, can you now recall one specific individual you'd like to forgive, which could be focused on for our current purposes? Can you now recall one specific individual you'd like to forgive? And as you bring to mind this individual who you would like to forgive, perhaps you can create a visual of this person or situation and position it somewhere around the upper left quadrant of your internal field of vision. Create a visual of this person you would like to forgive and place it in your upper left quadrant. Perhaps in your mind's eye, you can visualize this image as being up close, too close for comfort, in your face. To the point where you now realize that it is taking up a lot of burdensome space and energy. As you perhaps also recall some of your interactions with this person, including any untoward gestures, teasing, or verbally disrespectful discord. And as you allow yourself to step back into this hurtful experience, in order to temporarily relive the way you felt back then, perhaps you could visually characterize the whole situation as a dim, unpleasant, frozen in time, negative snapshot from the past. Now clear your mind of that visual. You can clear your mind now of that visual. Perhaps by flickering your eyes and shaking things out if it helps. Clear your mind now. because this time you can think of a completely different individual, one or several persons you've already forgiven, even though they also hurt you in the past. Think of a person you've already forgiven. Perhaps you were able to forgive them because you subsequently concluded that they had not really intended to harm you in that way. Or they only did the best they could with what they had at the time, as the saying goes. Or maybe you understood that it was accidental or something to that effect. In any case, the thing is, even though this person, like the previous individual, also hurt you in the past, somehow you were able to forgive them. And by doing so, you were able to free yourself, detach yourself from being angry, frustrated, resentful towards them or the situation. So now, in your mind's eye, can you create this new visual of this already forgiven person on the other side, somewhere around the upper right quadrant of your internal field of vision? Create this new visual of this forgiven person on the other side, the upper right quadrant. And as you do, perhaps you can notice that this forgiveness visual is farther away at a more relaxing, comfortable distance, while being more normal in size. With a quieter, more peaceful disposition. Which feels more pleasant, caring, with softer, more soothing colors. So that it simultaneously feels compassionately detached, yet lovingly comforting, redeeming, securitizing. And as you allow yourself to more fully appreciate this sunnier disposition, perhaps you can also tune into its more serenely illuminated inner strength. And thereby more clearly see the contrasting differences between this right-sided, more harmonious, life-affirming forgiveness visual and that old, left-sided, darker, frozen in time, negative snapshot from the past. And as such, perhaps you can now, just as a temporary test, try moving that left-sided negative snapshot across to your current right-sided harmonious forgiveness visual. Move that left-sided negative snapshot across to your right-sided forgiveness visual. As a temporary test, and as you continue, notice how this figurative shift makes you feel emotionally, mentally, and physically. Because on some level, it would be understandable if you felt some discomfort or reluctance with making this complete forgiveness crossover at this specific juncture. Moreover, it would even be understandable if you found the notion downright objectionable in many respects. Because now that you effectively find yourself directly at this crossroad where the proverbial rubber meets the road, it might become glaringly evident that forgiving and releasing anger and resentment justifiably felt towards a particular individual or situation who has hurt you, perhaps very deeply, does require considerable courage and inner strength. And any such resistance or hesitancy could be due to several underlying, very valid reasons and concerns, which, one way or another, will ultimately all have to be properly addressed and satisfactorily resolved within before you can reasonably be expected or allow yourself to fully forgive and freely move on. For example, one such internal objection could be that a part of you might feel deep down that this particular individual does not really deserve forgiveness because of the harm that was done. But what you need to understand, in all due respect, is that even though this might be true, forgiveness in this instance is not for the other person, it's for you. So that you can let go and move on without being burdened, consumed any further. And therefore, being even more aware now of the contrasting differences between that old, left-sided, darker, frozen in time, negative snapshot from the past, and this right-sided, more harmonious, life-affirming, serenely illuminated forgiveness visual. Perhaps you can now even more resolutely, proactively than ever before go ahead one more time and conditionally move those left-sided gauche characteristics across onto your more adroit, right-sided, sunnier forgiveness visual. so that you can now begin figuratively transmuting. Into a state of potently illuminated, forgiving inner peace. And observe now how all of those old left characteristics are so happily adapting and quickly adopting, transfiguring into their new, much brighter, warmer, friendlier reality. Like they had been waiting on you to make this happen all along. And perhaps you can now clearly see more than ever before how this effective relocation, transfiguration, combined with the process of releasing and letting go, can empower you, enable you to begin striding forward more freely with a renewed inner strength that more adroitly fits your brightly illuminated, genuinely humble, yet dignified self. And so, you can be pleased now, because you have cleared for yourself a new path which leads to a greater understanding, a greater awareness, and you will find in time that the more of these positive steps you take, the more enabled and graciously empowered you will increasingly become. And as we close this session, you'll be able to carry with you going forward, an evolving sense of progressing well-being, while being armed with the knowledge that you can always replenish your source, perhaps by redoing this or any other such exercises, either as a reinforcement or as a refresher, as you continue moving towards the fulfillment of your ultimately enlightened destiny. Thank you. Goodbye.